I'm still not bought in on Florida State yet. I picked SMU last night on the Lunch Money Show. Who's starting quarterback for Florida State? Is it still DJ? If it's DJ, I'm taking SMU. Yeah. Now, Florida State's still in the ACC. DJ's still the quarterback for Florida State. Man, how bad does y'all's second quarterback have to be to leave DJ in there? I mean, he can't be any worse. Yeah, I don't know. The whole DJ thing is confusing to me. Well, not DJ being there. That's not confusing. But the fact that they refused to bench him for some reason, is it because they gave him $475,000 worth of NIL money? Is that why? I mean, what's up, Ballard? Bring it, dogs. Bama is ready. Yeah. That was my lock of the week. Y'all should never listen to me when it comes to betting. Just whatever I say, just take it with a grain of salt. Either that or do the opposite of whatever I say. Because I'm so confident that Georgia's going to beat Alabama. But then I reminded myself of the last time that I was this confident about Georgia beating Alabama. I lost $100 betting on Georgia against Alabama to Law Tide. Shout out to Law Tide.
Peace, everybody. One love. We'll see you soon, Texas Pete.
As a matter of fact, if you're a Georgia fan, you should be extremely upset and nervous that Pete is picking you to win the game. I'm the same guy that told you Clemson was going to beat Georgia. God damn.
Oh my God.
Oh, actually, I didn't say that. I said they would cover the spread, though. I was wrong about that. Playoff team in that?
Playoff team in that? Playoff team in that?
How was lunch money last night? Well, it's on the internet. You can go watch it. You let me know. Thought it went pretty good. Who have they played? I'll tell you who Georgia's played. Georgia's got the best win in all of college football. They do. A blowout win against Clemson is the best win in college football. It's better than Texas over Michigan. Can't think of a better one. Honestly. And I'm being serious. I'm not joking around. Georgia's got the most convincing best win in college football, period. Now, that doesn't mean they're the best team. They just have the best win after 4 weeks. My streaming Georgia and Bama. What time is that on? I don't know. I don't even know what I'm streaming. Well, I know I'm streaming. So Clemson's got another night game this week against Stanford. I think it starts at 7 or 7:30 or something on ESPN. So I'll be streaming the nighttime game for sure. Yeah, so that's what I'll be doing. I'll stream the Clemson and Stanford game and the Georgia and Alabama game at the same time. Yeah, that works out perfectly, actually. Because I want to see both games, obviously. I'm you know. Miami beat Southern Florida worse than Alabama. Yeah, that's true. Well, Miami's a better team than Alabama. So, I mean, that's why. I mean, I hate to break it to Alabama fans, but here's the truth. Is Alabama talented? Yes. One of the most talented teams in the country, top 3. Are they one of the best teams in the SEC? Yes, they are. Top 3. So both of those things are true. Are they the Alabama that we've seen for the past 15 years or since 2007 or whatever it is under Nick Saban? No, they're not. They're not. But they're still a very good team. Probably still a playoff team in that. Right? Playoff team in that?
Playoff team in that?
Yeah. Probably. Oklahoma or Auburn? boy. You need to go back and watch the Lunch Money show last night. Don't even get me all riled up about Auburn and fucking Oklahoma. This is the ACC show. Let's talk about some ACC football here. I don't even need to go down that rabbit hole. South Florida is the second best team in Florida. I agree with that. I don't know. I'd probably still give it to UCF at this point, but it's close. UCF and USF close. I'll give the edge to UCF right now. All right, we're about to get this thing started. We got a lot to talk about from last week. Some great games last week. We got some great games coming up again this week. Some blowout wins, some disappointing losses. And some coaches either shopping for a retirement condo down at the Villages in Florida, or shopping for a new job altogether. You know? Yeah. All right. Give me about 15 seconds. We'll get this thing started. Usually this channel, this music channel annoys me, but tonight it's not bad. It's not ear raping me. That's good. That's always good. All right. Well, let's get this thing started. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the ACC show. I am your host, Pigskin Pete. Thank you for being here. You guys know the deal. Hit the thumbs up. It's free. YouTube really cares about the thumbs up. I mean, they even have a whole thing about how many thumbs up you get on every video. You know, they send you an email. You got, congratulations, you got 100 thumbs up on this video, Pete. I'm like, okay, who gives a fuck? I don't care, but they care. So hit it, I guess. Or don't hit it. You know what? Don't hit it. Oh, what's up, Sea-Dog? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, man. Good. I'm in the car right now. I'll be home in like 5 minutes.
Okay. Do you want to?
I was out.
Do you want to drop out until you get home, or?
No, it's fine.
All right.
I was out at the Home Depot. I got a trailer full of damn.
Yeah, you're handy manny now.
I mean, yeah, I've spent the past month or two working on my house.
You know, I like to bet. What's the over/under on the amount of trips that Sea-Dog makes to Home Depot every week?
Oh my God!
I'm gonna hold on. Let me put out a number here, and you can tell me if I'm way off here.
Yeah.
In a 7-day period, so from Sunday to Sunday, so Sunday to Saturday, how many trips does Sea-Dog make to Home Depot? I'm gonna go ahead and say more than 7 trips. So it's more than once a day on app. So I'm gonna say 8 times a week. Over under. CJ says 10. Atypical Gump says 6. He thinks you just take 1 day off a week, I think.
So here's the thing: you got to factor in now that we're in the season. I'm taking Saturday off. I'm not going to.
Oh yeah, no Saturday trips because he has to watch Georgia Tech lose to Louisville.
Before
That's right.
then, it was absolutely like 10.
Yeah. Oh
It was
yeah.
like sometimes I go 2-3 times a day.
You see?
And like it's 15 minutes away, so it's really annoying. It's like a 30-minute turns into an hour, just about at least every time.
Yeah.
But
you're probably to the point where like when they watch you walk in, they already they say hello, like they know your name and shit. Like, hey, what are you looking for more? Spackle?
Yeah. So I just went and got a bunch more bass because I'm shooting down bass right now. I've done ever since I put the drywall in. I've done everything in the house.
What is bass?
Like the base that goes, but like at the bottom of your wall where it meets the
baseboards.
Oh, are you talking about like the trim? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, base.
Baseboards.
Yeah, base is like the trim that goes to the floor.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I've done everything basically since they put in drywall. I've primed and painted and like put down the floors, trimmed out the windows.
What kind of floors did you put down?
Vinyl plank floors.
Like what's that shit called? It looks like wood, but it's vinyl. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What is it like Pergo?
But it's not like rolls of vinyl like it used to be. It's tongue and groove.
Yeah, like you snap it in there, like Pergo, like Pergo floors. Yeah. Right. All right.
Yep. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Not Pergo though. Pergo, we got like nice stuff.
Well, I mean, Pergo's a brand, but you know what I mean.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Pergo, they told me to stay clear of that.
Yeah, I don't know. We have wood. It's called. What the fuck did they call it? It's engineered hardwood. You ever heard of that? I think that's what they called it.
Yeah, I think that's basically it.
Yeah, it's not vinyl. It doesn't. It is actually real wood, but I think I don't know. I feel like the way the guy explained it to me was like they took a bunch of like the sawdust from cutting down these trees or trimming for floors, and they like heat compress it with chemicals into a hard wood. Like they turn it back into wood.
Yeah, pretty much. They mix it with some glue and compress it all together, and then make it look, however, give it some like a vinyl over the top of it to give it the look they want.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what though, because I was a little bit skeptical about it because it does look very good, but it doesn't scratch nearly as easily as real, just regular hardwood planks do.
Yeah.
So.
Is it
I'm in favor of that wood look tile. It's even more durable.
Yeah.
Huh.
But guess what does scratch easily? Georgia Tech's defense. What's going on, Sea-Dog? Another brutal loss this week.
Defense, was not the issue this week.
Well,
So I know I was all over the defense last week, but or against Syracuse though, but no, man, we outgained them, dude. We had did you get a chance to watch the game?
I did not know. No.
So that's why
I did.
So, yeah, 2 of those touchdowns. One of them was pick 6, and the other one was a blocked field goal for a touchdown return.
Wow.
So neither of those were the defense's fault. Defense actually played okay, considering everything. This is not on the defense.
I still don't know what to think about Georgia Tech or Louisville. Like, I was expecting some answers from that game, and I still don't have any answers. Like, so Slim, you said you did watch the game. What do you think? I mean, is Louisville for real, or is Georgia Tech? Do we overhype them based on their win against Florida State week 1 or week 0?
I think both of those things.
Probably.
I think Louisville's pretty good.
Yeah, that really was a game of who was going to screw it up more, in my opinion.
I don't know. Well, yeah, there was a lot of penalties and stuff and, like, miscues. But, I don't know. Tyler Shuck is pretty good. It was a really good quarterback battle. Like, both quarterbacks played really well. But neither team could run the ball. We had, like, 50-something yards rushing, and they had, like, 38. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
How the hell are you going to run for, like, come on. We that's, like, our identity. And, like, it was last year. We ran the ball really well. We led the conference in rushing yards. And now we can't. I mean, throughout, the past couple ACC games, we can't. And how freaking staffs who love to run the ball are. They don't abandon it so easily,
Well, I mean, Georgia Tech's a running team. I don't know why you would abandon it. I mean, that's your whole identity.
Because we're very successful passing.
Yeah, but the reason that you're so successful passing is because of your running game.
It's because they're, I don't know.
Yeah.
Haynes King's our leading rusher. Like,
that's okay.
I don't know, man.
I mean,
it's not a situation where we establish the run and it opens up the pass.
Now look, I'm not comparing Haynes King to Lamar Jackson because there's two totally different players. But Lamar Jackson was the leading rusher for Louisville. I mean, that's the kind of what I'm trying to say here is that's the kind of offense that you're running. It runs through him, like Clemson's running game runs through Phil Maffa. Right, most teams have a top back that their running game runs through, but for Georgia Tech, it runs through Haynes King, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, as long as he stays healthy.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Is like I'm not so sure about that because it feels like they don't want to run him as much, because he has got blasted and hurt before, so it feels like we want to avoid that, and we have some really good backs, or supposed, I mean Jamal Haynes last year was nice.
I just pulled up the games here, and automatically, look right here, Georgia Tech, Louisville. Of course, Louisville won 31-19. Haynes King, 312 passing yards, passing leader of the game. The rushing leader of the game, Haynes King, with 58 yards. Damn.
Yeah.
That's
wrong.
That's a crazy stat there. He was the leading rusher in the entire game with 58 yards? That means nobody from Louisville rushed for 58 yards? Holy shit.
One bad play all game. He I mean, sometimes, Coach Key has stressed this a lot. Like Haynes King sometimes feels like he has to save the world, because he literally is the best player on the team. But so he feels like, he has to play hero ball sometime. And so he makes this, it was like an option play, and he had the option to pitch. And it was way too far along in the play to pitch, but he did it anyway. And it was kind of a desperate move, and wound up being knocked down and picked up for, it was a lateral. So they knocked it down and picked it up for a touchdown. And
I mean,
so,
listen, there were a lot of penalties. There was a lot of Louisville's own quarterback got tripped up in the end zone by his running back for a safety.
that was awesome.
I mean, like it was just like I said, it was a battle of who's going to screw this up more. If I'm just being honest about
what's
it.
rough, and what I was trying to say, what's rough about it is that we lost that game by 12 points, and then we had that boneheaded play by Haynes King for 7, and then we had the block field goal run back for 7. So and we lose by 12. That's just kind of what's tough about. That's just what's tough to stomach about that game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I lost money on that game.
Yeah, it was yeah.
My reasoning was that not Clemson, Georgia Tech hadn't lost a game by more than 3 points going into this game.
Well, the thing is, like, at the end of the game, if Coach Key has the option to go for it, in his own territory, even if it might, cause the other team to score, like he will do it if that gives us the best chance to win the game, So that's kind of, the game was way more competitive than the final score would show you.
Somebody on the Lunch Money show last night in the chat said that Georgia Tech fans should not get too attached to Brent Key because he's not going to be there much longer. Do you think that's true?
No, that's ridiculous.
I'm not talking about being fired. I'm talking about being hired by somebody else.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
I've said this. I've said the same thing, and him and Rex think that Georgia Tech loyalty is going to win out the day. But when the standard across the country is at least double what he's making, his bank account's going to win out the day, sir.
He voluntarily took a pay cut so he could pay his assistant.
Yeah, there's a big difference between that and turning down $9 million a year to coach somewhere else.
Well, we'll just have to see, I guess.
Yeah,
Florida wants to hire Brent Key. I think.
Here's the thing: he's barely making 3. He's barely making 3. When Lane Kiffin jets for Florida, you think Ole Miss won't give him 6?
Oh, so you think Ole Miss grabs him, huh?
It's a possibility. I'm not necessarily saying that's what I think it would be.
He's like one of the higher choices for Florida right now, isn't he?
Who? Key?
Brent Key.
Oh, I have no idea.
But do you think they give him 9? What would you just say? $9 million?
Yeah, I'm throwing a number out there. Somewhere between 8 and 10 million is the going rate for one of the major programs. Yeah,
Well, somebody with Brent Key's experience is normally around 5 or 6.
Well, plus if
somebody comes in and offers 5 or 6, I really think he'd be able to parlay that into a better deal from Georgia Tech.
Here's what I think.
He's making half that from Georgia Tech, C-Dog. That's the problem.
I think.
But we're investing more in football now than we ever have. So
I think it's way too early to be pat. Look, Key seems to be doing a much better job than Jeff Collins, but it's way too early to be.
People are talking about firing him right now, which is ridiculous.
Well, no, he's not getting fired. No, fuck no.
Well, you'd be surprised at some of these Tech fans are crazy. It's like they never saw a Jeff Collins game. I don't know, which we'll get to here in a minute, but
he's not anywhere close to the hot seat. You guys would have to lose out for him to be on a hot seat.
Yeah, he's not getting fired.
No.
The whole thing is somebody's going to snatch him up, and I don't think Georgia Tech will match it.
This is literally the first ranked ACC game he's ever lost. He was 5-0 going into this game. So,
hey, isn't that also the first game that you and Rex streamed together that they lost?
That's true.
So that streak is now broken.
Couple streaks broken this past weekend, which sucks. But
there are a couple other records set this weekend too.
Agree to disagree. I think he loves it. He's an alumni. He's coaching where he wants to, and
I get that. And Mario's an alumni, but guess what? He still got a raise at Miami versus what he was making at Oregon. They still love money.
Well, we'll see, I guess.
I think the whole Brent Key to somewhere else is way premature. I'm not saying it won't eventually happen, but I don't see it happening after this season. not to Florida or Ole Miss or anywhere else. I mean, we had this discussion last night, or on maybe on the midday show. I can't remember. Is there another job in the ACC that would be a better move? I mean, so Mac Brown is most likely going to step down. Either that, or he's going to get pushed out the door at the end of this season, or even during the season. Like, is North Carolina a better job than Georgia Tech?
No shot.
No,
I don't think it is.
For North Carolina.
I think it's lateral.
It's a lateral move.
If I'm being honest.
Shot. How much does Mac Brown make?
Probably $4 or $5 million. I don't know for sure.
Yeah, he's not leaving to go to North Carolina. He's not leaving to go to anywhere in the ACC.
I don't see. I mean, if you look at the coaches in the ACC that will probably, at least there's a chance they won't be there next year. Mac Brown's at the top of the list. I don't know about. I would say that Dave Doran should be, but they seem to love that guy there, so he probably still be there. I can't think of it. I mean, you got several new coaches that aren't going anywhere anytime soon. Dabo's not going anywhere. Cristobal's not going anywhere. Florida State's coach probably not going anywhere, no matter what happens. So I think the only job opening might be North Carolina at the end of the year.
Well, he's not going there, so.
Right.
Why would he go to just a way worse situation like Florida or North Carolina just so he can be fired in 2 or 3 years when he's not winning national titles or ACC championships at those schools?
Well, I don't necessarily think Florida or North Carolina is a way worse situation than Georgia Tech.
What do you mean?
Don't?
I mean, listen, I don't. It doesn't matter. I get Sea Dog's point that they're putting more money into football than they have in the past. It probably still doesn't hold a candle to what Florida's putting into football.
Yeah, but he's going to be in a rebuild. I mean, whatever semblance of a recruiting class they have is going to fall apart, and the expectations are going to be sky high. It's like, why would Lane go to Florida? That's completely crazy.
That would be a financial decision.
Because Lane always leaves where he is for what he perceives to be a more prestigious job. He's done that his entire
Well, look,
career.
I think Ole Miss is a great fit for Lane Kiffin, and he probably could coach there for the next 15 years if he wanted to, and not, be on the hot seat unless he completely fell off the cliff. But I still think at the end of the day, Florida's still a better job than Ole Miss, isn't it? It is. I mean,
yes.
So,
Well, I guess, but what has Florida done in the last 15 years?
that's not the point, though.
Oh, okay. What has Ole Miss done ever?
More than they ever have with Lane.
No. Lane's the apex of what Ole Miss has ever done.
That's what I just said, yeah.
Okay, so programs have a ceiling, and Ole Miss has one, and it's lower than Florida's.
Yeah, I agree with that. 100%.
I mean, they might have better backing. If I'm Lane, I'm not leaving to go to Florida and be in a rebuild and have them get ready to fire me after 3 years if I'm not at the 10-win mark.
Well, I think what you're going to start to see going forward because of this, and I think a lot of this is the Nick Saban effect. I think much like you're seeing it with some coaches already have it, and I think you're going to see more get it, and that's guaranteed minimum amount of time. Like Shane Beamer at South Carolina has a guaranteed minimum 7 years.
That's a long time.
That he's paid for?
Yeah, I mean, he's talking about the buyout clause. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about.
That's
But
what Jeff Collins had.
yeah,
But it sounds
It
like
was
some
like-
saying a contract that means you cannot fire him under any circumstance under a certain
well, there's no such you can always fire with
Not-
cause.
Yeah, like if there's cause, but short of big off the field scandal, Shane Beamer's going to get 6 to 7 years to turn South Carolina around.
Well, you might need 100 years to turn that fucking program around.
I agree with you, man. It is way too early to say that Key sucks or that he's some fantastic
Yeah.
coach.
So I mean, it's fun to talk about. I don't think that Brent Key. I think Brent Key is going to be the head coach of Georgia Tech in 2025. So.
Yeah, he'll be there.
I wouldn't be surprised if somebody, because it wouldn't take much to give him a raise. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody comes after him.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, my intuition said, I mean, it just seems like he's taking way less to get his staff paid. And if you're that invested in a program doing well, then it seems like your main motivation isn't money.
It's not until somebody offers you a massive amount of money. Like, it doesn't matter how much you love Georgia Tech or being the head coach there. When somebody slides a $10 million check in front of your face, I mean, would you turn that down? I don't think I could.
Guess what? If the University of Florida offers me triple tomorrow to drive their equipment truck, guess whose truck I'm driving?
Yeah, and if that happened, I mean, I guess he would leave, but I think it would be if anyone offers Brent Key $10 million a year right now, they're not thinking.
I'm just throwing that number out there. Whatever it is going to be more than double what he's making at Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I mean, I'm about to say the going rate is around $5 to $6 million. I mean, the coach of Michigan is getting $5.5. He's never been head coach before.
Tech's already shown that. I mean, Kentucky and Arkansas tried to hire Buster Faulkner, and then they went and paid Buster, ROC. So if someone offered Brent Key $5 or $6 million, they would just pay him that or a little more.
Yeah,
you hope. I mean,
I think they probably would.
Why aren't they paying him that already?
Well, because
why is he the lowest paid Power 4 coach in the country?
Well, because they don't have to pay him more. But if somebody else offers him more, then they will have to.
See, I don't think they'll match it.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll agree to disagree, but
I mean, we'll see how the season plays out too. I mean, I don't know. Georgia Tech, I still have them winning 7 or 8 games, and if that's the case, I don't think he's anywhere close to a hot seat. Well, if the wheels fell off and they missed a bowl game, maybe they might. Yeah, I don't. It's just too early to tell with him.
I don't think it's anything like a hot seat or anything like that. Don't get me wrong.
No, I had to go to war with my own fan base over that, but I agree.
Well, anytime somebody loses a game and they're mad, they start, the amount of Clemson fans that were convinced that Dabo Swinney's washed up and is going to either quit or get fired at the end of this year is mind-boggling to me. But nobody would bet me on that. I was willing to take any amount of money that anybody wanted to bet me whether Dabo would be the head coach next year, but nobody wanted to do it. They just wanted to type about it.
Yeah, they want him fired.
I said if he's a man of his word, he'll leave, because that's what he said.
Oh, we had a press conference today talking about the revenue sharing, and he seemed to be all for it. They straight up asked him. They were like, "So how do you feel about this? Are you do you feel like it's a recruiting tool?" He goes, "Yeah, it's mandatory to include revenue sharing into your recruiting model. Like, you don't have a choice." Which he's right about.
Everybody else is going to do it.
Everyone else is going to do it.
Which I still wonder exactly how that's going to work, because of Title IX laws, if they pay football players, well, they got to pay the women's golf team too, and they have to pay them equally.
Yeah, that's a whole other show there, Slim. I don't even know if that's true or not.
Well, it's true. Yeah, I mean, it seems to be true per Title IX, but I don't know. I mean, I talked to someone very close to our program, and I was like, because something's got to give. I said, what keeps a kid from taking a boatload of money from Clemson and then running to another school with it? And they said absolutely nothing.
Yeah, we've seen it happen. Quinn Ewers did it at Ohio State. Took a $800,000 paycheck and then transferred to Texas.
I've said those things have swung too much in favor of the player, and there has to be a balance.
Yeah, I mean, this has gotten out of hand.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. Thank you, Caden, for the super chat. Clemson has turned into Clown University. Okay.
I don't know, the way Will Howard's playing, Ohio State seems like some clowns for getting rid of Kyle McCord.
Hey, Caden, how does it feel to know that after 4 weeks, Clemson has a better quarterback than Ohio State? Does that really hurt your feelings? Because it should, because you've been telling me for the past 2 months since I've known you how terrible Cade Klubnik is. But your quarterback's way worse. You might want to get Cade Klubnik in the transfer portal. Upgrade your quarterback situation.
Maybe go beg Kyle McCord to come back.
Yep. Get Kyle McCord back. They ran him out of there too. He's better than who they got now. Holy shit. Speaking of Kyle McCord, Stanford at Syracuse last week. Stanford, they beat Syracuse in Syracuse. I know that hurts your feelings, Rick.
Has anybody ever seen that the Trump clip where he's like, "We keep winning. All we're gonna be doing is winning. We're doing so much winning, and you're gonna come to me and you're gonna say, 'I'm so tired of winning.'" That's like me. That's like me when it comes to being right about ACC teams. I'm almost tired of being right.
Yeah. We've been right a lot as collectively as an ACC panel here.
Yeah,
honestly.
I don't know if anybody's seen, but I had I put out a video Friday night. I had a lot of people come down on me about my take, okay, on the Syracuse game the other week. A lot of Syracuse fans and Tech fans alike I basically ate me alive for suggesting that Syracuse might not be all that good and that we just played crappy. And I told them, don't get your hopes up on Syracuse and don't get your hopes up on Kyle McCord. Now, Kyle McCord did play good.
I was wrong about that. I'll take the L on that.
He played good, but I mean, it was Stanford and they still lost. Like, and yeah, all those people that had something to say about me and how stupid I am and don't know what I'm talking about, they're nowhere to be found now.
They real quiet today.
Yeah, they're real quiet.
Well, my experience, Syracuse fans have always been quiet. Yeah, I mean,
honestly, I'm more referring to Tech fans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a small but loud subsection of them that had a lot to say about Sea-Dog and my takes and opinions.
Is there a civil war brewing in the Georgia Tech fan base?
How embarrassing it is for Sea-Dog to be representing Georgia Tech.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of tech-on-tech violence in the past week.
Some people are embarrassed of Sea-Dog?
I wouldn't be embarrassed of you if I was a Georgia Tech fan. I mean, I can't. Is there anybody out there representing Georgia Tech like you and Rec Talk on the internet? No, there's not. I don't.
Yeah, well.
Who is?
Not like us, no.
All right. Well, is there other ones though?
There's other people covering Georgia Tech.
Covering.
Yeah. There's no one that's got big ass balls like we do.
Yeah.
Tech. That's for sure.
And they hate us for it.
Well,
they're jealous.
Some of these Tech fans honestly love like sniffing their own farts.
Come on, man. You guys know
they think that they're
you know the old cat
above us because we get animated and excited on and rowdy and carried away.
But this is the problem with Georgia Tech fan bases. They're a bunch of nerds, so they can't handle that shit. You know the old Cat Williams stand-up special where he's talking about you got haters. You need more of them motherfuckers. You got 10 haters right now. You need 11 by tomorrow morning.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny, and it's true, and it's happening, and they've been silenced by this Syracuse game because I said they're not good, and guess what? They're freaking not. You let a bunch of West Coast freaking pussies come up and beat you in your own building.
Ah, damn.
Not even Florida State did that.
Ah, damn.
God almighty.
Yeah. Well, Clemson's going to show them how to take care of Stanford this weekend. Thank you for the super chat, Huffer Billy Paul. He was so embarrassed by his super chat message, he retracted it, so I can't even read it. Caden, another super chat. Thank you. Aaron Noland is Michael Vick, part 2. Is that what you're trying to say? Jesus Christ.
That is bullshit. That is bullshit.
Pathetic. You are pathetic.
Ah, damn. Talk about delusional. No, he's not.
A lot of delusion going around.
A lot of delusion going around.
It's like a pandemic of delusion.
Yeah. I don't think they have a shot for that one. It probably wouldn't work anyway. Anyway, Miami versus South Florida. Miami took care of business 50-15. I did not see any of that game. I just saw the highlights of it and whatnot. It looked similar to what Clemson did to NC State, right? Miami came out to a big lead, threw for 1 million yards. Cam Ward 404 yards through the air. Took him out in the third quarter, I think.
Does anyone find? I might trigger you a little bit here, Slim, but does anybody find the Cam Ward casual gimmick a little annoying? Like, oh my God, look at him, he's so badass. Oh my God, he's so freaking cool. He doesn't even care. He's like walking around on the field and in the pocket. Look at him. He jogs around like off the side.
I mean, the guy, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the country. I don't know what.
It's a little.
I mean, there is something to be said for a quarterback that, I mean, seemingly can't be rattled.
He's gonna get lit the hell up one of these days. It's gonna be.
Well, no, he's been lit up. That's the whole point. And I think that's part of why you can't. Like before, he's been sacked once, I think, at Miami, maybe twice. In his 3 years before that, he tallied up 113 sacks.
Holy shit!
What?
113?
Yes.
Over what time span?
3 seasons. 2 with Washington State and one at. Yes. Like, I'm not sure that to me, that's kind of the point. When you've been through what he's been through as far as O-lines, I can completely understand why he's as calm as he is there.
He took 40 sacks a year for 3 years. That's like 3 or 4 sacks a game every game.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's got to be a record of some kind. I mean, that's a lot. Nonetheless, though, I mean, Miami still looks like the best team in the ACC. And I would love to say that Clemson looks like the best team in the ACC, but Clemson had a terrible game. Miami hasn't. I mean, they've dominated every game they've been in. Now, they haven't played somebody like Georgia, but I don't think if they did play Georgia this week that they would lose by 31 points. So, or hell, they might not even lose.
Might not. I mean, I would probably pick it. I wouldn't put money on us to win it. I know that.
Yeah, well,
listen, they are, and not
Georgia.
Not everything is sunshine and rainbows, though. And they started off the season good on the penalty front, and like this game, they had 113 yards of penalties. And I mean, it actually wasn't like the Clemson NC State game. That was a 7-point game at half. Now, granted, Miami scored on every drive of the game but one.
all right.
But the Alex Golesh came from Tennessee. He was Tennessee's coordinator in 22 when they were, running at light speed and throwing the ball around on everybody. I'll give them credit. Between the 20s, yeah, they racked up some yards, but they got in the red zone, and that Miami defense bowed its back like they should, and held them to 1 touchdown, 3 field goals. And I can't even be mad about it, because in true fashion, in Raymond James Stadium, that they unleashed a new weapon on us. Nico Gramatica, the son of Tampa legend Martin Gramatica.
Here's what I can tell you about what I've seen from Miami so far. I think they're for real. I think they're one of the most fun teams to watch. Everything, I don't know. Just from a viewer's perspective, it seems like every game they have is exciting, even if they're blowing somebody out, which is typically the mark of a very good team, offensively especially, because that's what people pay attention to as far as excitement goes.
Of course.
So, but
I mean, if I were to nitpick, the only thing I would really say is I don't think 13 yards rushing in the first half is good number.
That's terrible. That is very bad.
Now, granted, 178 yards rushing on the game is great, but 13 in the first half is not.
Yeah.
But I've noticed this really pretty much all season, and I don't know why teams are continuing to do it. but they are continuously stacking the box on us, almost like they're not threatened by Cam Ward's passing ability.
Well, that's great, except for then it ends up to be 50-15.
Yeah, that's how you end up with 13 yards rushing in the first half.
Oh. I don't know.
To me, that's just a nitpick.
Miami looks good to me. Georgia Tech at Louisville, we already talked about that. 31-19. Heartbreaking loss for the Nerds. You did not go to this game, did you, Rec?
No, I was streaming with Sea Dog, and I was quite upset.
Yeah, their streak got broken. Their streak got broken.
Damn you, Tech, for putting
all good things must come to an end.
Hey man, a few streaks got broken. Jordan Lyle at the end of that game set a Miami record, longest rushing touchdown in school history.
How long was that? 90?
He broke 91.
Okay.
He broke Duke Johnson's record of 90. I think he set it in like 13 or 14.
Oh.
Hey, Pete.
Yeah.
Will you switch my thing out in the StreamYard?
Yeah, give me a second. All right, there you go. Just turn the other one off.
Yeah.
No, God. We have 2 Sea Dogs.
Yeah.
One's bad enough.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on, what's the next? Oh, Clemson and NC State. Clemson and NC State. Boy, oh boy. This game...
I'd turn that off in the first quarter, if I'm just being honest.
Yeah, another record-setting day.
That was funny. I stopped by to congratulate you in the first quarter.
Yeah.
You were laughing about that.
Yeah.
Well, I saw the pick six, and then right after the touchdown, I was like, okay, this is fixing to get ugly. Our preseason takes on NC State were wrong.
Not me. Hold on now. Don't put me in there. That's you.
Yeah, not me.
No. Listen, it's consensus. It's consensus. So you're guilt by association.
No, when the panel is right, I take credit. But when I'm right about something, I'm not taking.
Oh, you're like fuck the panel.
Yeah, that's right.
And here's the thing about NC State too is they didn't have McCall for the game. He's still in. I guess. What did he have, a concussion or something the week before?
I don't remember.
I think it was a concussion. Anyway, he didn't play. So they brought in the guy out there, C.J. Bailey or whatever his name, a freshman, his first start on the road at Clemson. And I don't know. As far as I know, they're planning on going back to McCall this week. But I don't. I think the backup might be better.
Yeah,
I mean, let's be. This is not in any way a shot at Clemson, but fuck, NC State died 2 weeks ago. Y'all just beat up on the rotting corpse on the side of the road.
Yeah, well, that's what they're supposed to do. Look, if Clemson took out their starters after the first series of the third quarter, if they'd have let their starters in till the fourth quarter, they might have scored 85 points. I mean, every time they got the ball, they scored.
Now, it should be a little troubling that they did rack up 28 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, so it was NC State's first string against Clemson's third string. Whoop-de-fucking-do.
Well, but when it comes to late in the season, you're going to need good depth, and that shows.
That's why they played them in this game. Dabo Swinney, not only did he slap his dick across Dave Dorn's face, he fucking did the dick car wash helicopter on his face. That's what he did.
Oh, shit.
He played 96 players in this game. He's never played 96 players against any conference opponents the entire time he's been there, ever. And he's been in some blowouts. This game was just, I mean, it was a joke. So if you just look at the score.
That's kind of funny. Clemson and Miami played the exact same. We both played 96 players in our games.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's 2012 or something. So is Duke the best team in North Carolina right now?
They're undefeated.
No, I don't think they're the best team. Well, how's ECU looking?
Yeah, we got to go.
ECU, no. Duke is the only undefeated team in the state of North Carolina.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, I guess Duke is the best team.
In year one of a rebuild with Manny Diaz, Duke is the best.
Shout out to Handy Manny.
Anyway, NC State's no good, but Clemson beat the absolute soul out of them, so it doesn't really matter. James Madison. Oh my God. Here we go. Where's the?
Wow.
This is the worst one of the week. This might be the worst loss in the entire country. Forget the ACC.
This is, I mean, could me and Greg talk not been more on the nose about this?
Okay, now, don't take this the wrong way, but I mean, sitting there and doing a 30-minute breakdown of a Jeff Collins press conference, you're starting to come across as like that jilted ex-girlfriend.
Fuck him, dude. What are you talking about? He's the biggest clown in all of college football.
That was funny, man. That press conference was funny. I don't know why. I mean, obviously
he had a Jeff Collins, their DC, had a press conference yesterday. They're asking him if he's going to ring the victory bell, which I guess has to do with some Duke trophy. So that's what North Carolina is worried about, ringing victory bells.
Hey, what do you think about the rumor that North Carolina was ready to fire Mac Brown after the game and tell him to kick rocks, but then they reconsidered considering that Jeff Collins was going to be the head coach if he got fired?
Well, the way I heard it was Mac Brown was talking about resigning at that time.
I think that's how.
Yeah. Boy, talk about adding insult to injury. There was a player that was committed to Clemson, and he decommitted so that he could take an official visit to North Carolina. So he took an official visit during that game and watched them lose by fucking 70 to 50.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Oh my God, he's the loser of the week.
Damn.
I mean, is that worse than Miami celebrating in the swamp with all of Florida's recruits?
It's well, no, I think the swamp is probably worse. Yeah. The swamp one was probably worse.
I mean, that's just unbelievable. Like Jeff Collins, when he was coach at Georgia Tech, he had several historic losses, like
Citadel
losses that were significantly worse than like a normal loss. Yeah, Citadel is one of them.
Listen. After the past few weeks of college football, him losing to NIU doesn't look as bad anymore because Notre Dame did the same thing.
That's true. That's true. And at least they won their conference that year. But I mean, still, like, it's just funny to see him do it elsewhere, and he's not even a head coach. And like, I mean, James Madison, they only scored 17 points on Gardner Webb the week before, and you know, I mean, there's all kind of crazy stats. North Carolina had never given up that many points in a game or in a half. Hell, their basketball team didn't give up 56 points in the first half of a game last year.
Yeah, what did they put up? Like 800 yards? Their quarterback, James Madison quarterback, threw for 475 yards. Hampton ran for 139. I don't even think he played the whole game. For North Carolina. He's their best player.
They had their fucking third and fourth stringers in after halftime.
Yeah. Wow, North Carolina's bad. They're worse than we had them, I think. What do we have them at?
We had them at 6-6. They may not even make that.
No, they're not.
Yeah, I was there.
They're the worst team. They're worse than NC. They're the worst team in the ACC. Period.
Now, granted, I to be fair to us, we could not foresee the Max Johnson injury, and they'd probably be a little better with him, at least offensively.
I don't know if they would be.
Yes. I think Mac Johnson is better than whatever can of corn they got trotting out there now.
You still give up 70.
Well, Pete read the stat wrong. I think it was a North Carolina quarterback that had 400-something yards throwing.
Jacoby Criswell, is that the North Carolina quarterback?
Yeah, the backup is pretty good.
Yeah.
He threw for 475 yards and still lost by 20 to JMU? That's even worse. God damn.
Yeah, the JMU quarterback threw for like 380 or something.
What's funny is that if Jeff Collins was the head coach, they would have lost 16 to freaking 70 instead of 50 to 70.
Look, in their press conference, Jeff Collins was saying, I went to tell the kids that this was my fault, and they wouldn't let me. They were texting me and calling me and telling me that.
Yeah, they didn't want him anywhere near the players. That's why.
No, he said the players were texting him like, "No, man, it's not your fault. We love you so much." Like, come on, dude.
Oh, yeah. Whatever. Anyway, North Carolina's they're fucking absolutely terrible. But moving on to a more sunny skies, though, Virginia and Coastal Carolina. Virginia is sitting there at 3-1. Can you guys believe this? We had them winning 4 games, I think, all year. They're sitting there at 3-1. Now, I don't know how that's going to I think they're a bowl team, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't just beat Coastal Carolina; they beat the shit out 43-24.
I mean, they look better against Coastal Carolina than NC State did.
Yeah, they did. I don't know, man. Tony Elliott might be onto something there. We'll see how they finish the season, but I'm impressed with what they've done so far.
I am too.
And that's kind of a feel-good story.
I've been like a big Tony Elliott detractor, but got to give him credit where it's due.
Schedule gets tough. Yeah, Wahoo Brett. Yeah, the schedule gets tougher, but even you have got to be somewhat pleased with what you've seen out of the team so far. Again, I'm not expecting them to make a run for the ACC or anything like that, but I mean they're miles better than I thought they would be at this point in the year. So, congratulations to them. Rutgers at Virginia Tech. Rutgers, of course, I picked Rutgers to win this game last week on the ACC show, and they did by 3. I didn't see the game, so I can't really comment on exactly what happened. But it clearly was a competitive, close game. Did any of you see the game?
I did not. No, I made the poor life choice to watch that abomination that was Auburn and Arkansas.
Yeah, that was fun though.
I mean, if you're a fan of turnovers, that's the game for you right there.
Yeah.
Is this at 3:30?
What?
Was this a 3:30 game?
Which one? Rutgers and Virginia Tech?
Yeah.
I don't remember what time it was on.
Oh, okay. I don't. Yeah.
Why does that matter?
I just peeked at it because I do pick'ems and I had picked Rutgers. I was the only one to pick Rutgers.
I know in the preseason I picked Rutgers to win this game.
Yeah.
Rutgers is not a bad team.
Everybody and their mom thought Virginia Tech was going to be this and that.
Not me. Again.
Not me.
Not me.
I did not. I picked them to play spoiler to somebody. Maybe 7-8 wins tops. But that's what I had. I don't know where this narrative got started that they were going to be a dark horse for the ACC. I don't get that.
Another W for the panel.
Yeah, that got started outside of ACC fans.
Yeah.
That's where that got started. So.
Well, and I mean, I can understand the logic of it. I mean, people would look, fairly good at any Power 4 team that's returning 21 of 22 starters.
Yeah.
Oh.
The idea was that they'd build off of last year, but they just...
Exactly, but obviously they haven't.
We'll talk more about them in a minute.
It doesn't look like my Jackets have either, though.
Pitt won 73-17 against Youngstown State. I don't even know what to take out of that. I mean, is there anything to take out? I mean, 73-17 is a convincing win, so...
That means Holstein is better than...
he's better than Kenny Pickett. Yeah.
Yeah, Kenny Pickett.
Yeah. That's what that
Miles
means.
better.
Miles better.
Miles better than Pickett, yeah. But he doesn't get the fake slide like Pickett did. Pickett ruined that for everybody.
That was ridiculous.
Duke took care of Middle Tennessee State. Like you said, Duke, the only undefeated team in the state of North Carolina.
I'm impressed with Duke. I can't believe they're...
Yeah, I am too. They're sort of the opposite of the North Carolina, right? Like, or NC State. I'll say NC State rather than North Carolina. But people expected NC State to be really good for some reason, and they expected Duke to be in the toilet, and it's the opposite, right? Duke's sitting there undefeated, and NC State's reeling. They've lost both Power 5 games that they've played.
Yeah, and listen,
and got blown out in both of them, too.
I don't think Manny is a terrible head coach. I think, Miami program, and I think most people would agree with this, that's kind of a big job to take on as your very first job. Like, Kirby Smart excelling at Georgia in his very first head coaching job is kind of the exception to the rule.
I would be shocked if Duke continued this, though. I mean, the schedule's about to get a lot harder.
It is.
And so I think they're gonna catch a string of L's here very soon. But right now they're sitting there undefeated. So, Paul, thank you for the super chat. God is clearly dead. What the fuck are you talking about? Miami gets good, which gives Slim more bragging shit talk. God help us. Well, you just said, how can God help us if he's dead? You just said he was dead.
There is no savior or salvation for you, Paul.
No.
The ACP down bad.
He said God is dead. God damn, man.
Good Lord, man.
He's despairing.
What did y'all do to Slot?
I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, he was convinced. You remember 2 weeks ago he said Clemson was going 5-7.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
Or 3 weeks after the Georgia loss.
And listen, to be fair, this is the worst App State team in a decade and a corpse of NC State. So Clemson's offense is not going to look this good for the rest of the year, more than likely.
Well, are they going to score a touchdown on every single offensive possession? No.
But to be fair, I don't think Miami's offense is going to look as good the rest of the year as it has in these first 4 games.
Jay, Jesus Christ. Jay says Clemson could still go 8-5. Jay, you got my PayPal or my Cash App? How much money you want to bet on that? You name the price.
That'd be hard to do in the regular season.
By the end of this bet, I'll be driving around Jay's fucking Suburban with all those speakers. I'm going to have to go pawn all your speakers so you can pay me. 8-5. Where's 4 more losses on that schedule? I don't even think there's 2.
I could find a couple if you pressed me.
I don't have to press you. You didn't name them.
You very well could lose South Carolina.
They're
not
God.
pushover this year.
Oh shit!
Congratulations! You tried and you failed miserably.
Virginia Tech on the road will be tough. I think you'll win it.
I don't know about that.
You have Louisville at home or on the road?
In Clemson, yeah.
Could lose Louisville.
Could lose Louisville. They're a scrappy little team.
You dodged Georgia Tech, so that's good.
I mean, listen, my projection for Virginia Tech is still very much in play that they can play spoilers.
2 toughest games on Clemson's schedule right now.
Clemson
I'll tell you what they are.
Weeks, or could it be Miami Friday night? Who knows?
2 toughest games that Clemson has left on their regular season schedule. Louisville in Clemson and on the road at Pitt.
So I don't play Miami, huh?
No Miami.
No.
Interesting.
No Boston College. No Syracuse. We got Virginia.
We have Syracuse in Syracuse for the last game of the year.
Yeah. So, no. TCU at SMU. SMU 66-42 over the Horned Frogs. And SMU, guess who they get this week? That's right. They get Florida State this week.
Ooh. Hey, did anybody else, and I'm surprised that this wasn't talked about more, did anybody else notice that Sonny Dykes got ejected from that game?
What? No.
Yeah, man. He caught 2 unsportsmanlike. He went smooth off on the refs, and they threw him out.
Wow.
He must have talked shit about one of their mamas or something.
He might have.
Yeah.
Or said he just got done banging one of their wives or something.
Cal and Florida State. That was holy shit. Congratulations to Florida State by winning a game. I guess this might be the worst football game I've ever seen in my life.
Rolling too ugly.
Talk about ugly. 14-9. I mean, look, you give them credit. They found a way to win, but that football team is not good. They're not good.
Their defense had to bow their backs. Cal was driving for the game-winning score.
Yeah. I can't believe that DJ's still starting.
I can. You want to know why? Because I don't have any better option. That's the best they got.
Well, that's even more sad.
It is.
And they got to go on the road at SMU this week too, which I've already picked that game. We'll talk about it in a minute, but I've already picked it. I picked SMU to win that outright. I think. What's the spread on that? Oh, SMU's favored by 6. I think they cover that.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm inclined to agree with you, but at the same time, SMU has been very Jekyll and Hyde this year. Like first couple of games of the year, they looked abysmal.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I mean, got run off the field by BYU. Yeah.
Yeah, they almost lost to
now,
Nevada the week 1, I think.
Yeah. Now, granted, looking at BYU now, the way they just throttled a top 15 Kansas State. Okay, I'll give SMU that. Like BYU's probably just legit.
Hmm.
Did you see the guy that said that he would shove a beefy 5-layer burrito up his ass if he lost with this game?
I did see that. Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing something similar for the UNC game.
Really?
Not something similar to that. But okay, so
I would suggest if you do it at Oliver Billy Slaw's house because he has a bidet, and that'll make cleanup easier.
So that may have sounded a little sus.
It did sound sus, yes.
I'm not going to shove anything on my ass.
Sea Dog, this is 2024, sir. Nobody is here to kink shame. You do you.
Huh.
No. Nothing like that. Nothing like that. I'm so confident. I thought that if we lost to, I think if we lose to North Carolina, I might do the Waffle House Challenge. Have you ever heard of that?
That's much better than what you tried to do 2 years ago. You remember that bet you made with what's his name? The North Carolina fan, Luke. Remember when Luke was on here?
Oh, where you had to eat a crow?
No.
Yeah.
Well, no. So that was a great bet. You had to eat a crow. I would tune in for that, and probably millions of people would love to watch you eat a crow. Then he said, "No, I'm not eating a crow. Instead, I'm going to write a term paper." A term paper.
And you let him get away with that. So
who in the fuck is going to watch that?
It's true.
Whose idea was that?
I don't know. Luke has been gone ever siness. I don't know.
I guess he's still writing that paper.
Off the hook for $50. I guess you don't like me.
I guess he's still writing that paper that nobody's going to read.
I guess.
Holy shit! A term paper.
I mean, there was a way for us to get a crow, so it is what it is.
Yeah, yes, there was. I would have shot both of y'all a crow.
I'll shoot it and send it to him. He still technically owes me. So.
Yeah. I'll get you a crow. Anyway, Michigan State at Boston College. BC 23, Michigan State 19. Michigan State, who do they play this week? That's another one of my picks this week.
I think they play Ohio State. Ohio State's finally getting into conference play.
That's right. Ohio State minus 24.5 against Michigan State. Give me Ohio State in that.
Yeah.
But all right, let's move on to this week here. I can find it. Week 5. Here it is.
I don't know how'd the graphics guy do this week. Is he getting fired again?
I'm the graphics guy this week. I'm just I'm on ESPN.com.
Graphics guys.
Oh,
graphics guys.
graphics guy didn't even turn in anything.
No, that's fine though. Virginia Tech at Miami. Primetime game on ESPN. How is that possible? I think Clemson's supposed to be on ESPN at the same time.
It's Friday night.
Friday? Let's go.
Oh, Friday night. Oh, that's even better.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm excited. I love freaking football Friday night.
I'm conflicted. Like, I would have more worry about this game, obviously, if it was on the road, because, you know, ranked road favorites on a weekday game. But at the same time, I've got a condition called BCS, battered cane syndrome. You know, I've seen them shit down their pant leg on primetime games when nobody else is playing.
That is a good point, because I'm sitting here thinking like Miami's going to blow out Virginia Tech, which he probably should. But then in the back of my mind, I'm not even a Canes fan, and I guess I have Canes syndrome, whatever that sickness that you have is, because I'm just sitting here waiting for them to lose to somebody they shouldn't lose to. Now, I don't think it's going to be this week.
I don't either. I think if I had to pick, and I did in the off season, it's going to be Louisville on the road.
Right. So anyway, at least we have a intriguing conference matchup on Friday night at 7:30. So we'll all get to watch that and get our.
I mean, if I'm just being honest, I think South Florida is a better team than Virginia Tech.
I think I probably would agree with that. Yeah, I think so too.
And honestly, maybe even Florida. I mean, shit, they showed signs of life, beat the holy hell out of Mississippi State.
I don't even have anything to say about this game. Western Kentucky at Boston College. Does anybody have anything to say about that? I mean, BC should win that. That's 12 o'clock on Saturday on the ACC network.
I'm with you. I think BC should roll there.
All right. Now here we go. Northern Illinois.
Oh boy.
At NC State.
Oh my God.
Wow. Give me oh shit. I say that Northern Illinois turned around and fucking lost. Ugh.
I saw that. But
this was that was the narrative this past weekend. It wasn't really Power 4 as much. It was Northern Illinois lost, Memphis lost. It was not I don't think any Group of 5 team wants in the playoffs.
Here's what I'll tell you. So clearly, Clemson and Tennessee are on a much higher level than Northern Illinois. All right, so I'll concede that. But the other two games that NC State's played, Western Carolina, and who was the other one? I don't know. That might be it. They might only have had 3 games already.
Western?
No, they've had 4.
Who was the other one?
They played.
It was another Group of 5 or FCS team or whoever it was. Anyway,
it was
Charlotte or something
like that. But they haven't. I mean, they got blown out by the 2 good teams they played, and they struggled against the other 2 teams they played from the lower class. Northern Illinois is better than anybody they've played, not named Clemson or Tennessee. Can we agree on that?
Probably.
I think they might lose this game. I'm talking about NC State.
Say that, and that's all based off of Northern Illinois simply beating Notre Dame.
Yeah, but they're actually a decent Group of 5 team. They're well coached. They got a bunch of veteran players on that team. I don't know. NC State to me is in shambles. I mean, I think the fucking wheels are falling off for real in Raleigh right now. This might be
if they can't right the ship this week, I'm going to agree with you completely.
6.5 points for all you bettors out there. I'm taking Northern Illinois in the points. Definitely taking the points. I'm not brave enough to take them on the money line, although I think there's a very good chance they might actually win this game. And I'm here for it. If they do, I'm here for it.
Yeah. Yes, we all know I'm here for it. NC State are
I don't get the Dave Dorn. People still try to convince me to this day why he's still there, and none of the excuses they make for why he should still be there make any sense to me. The number one excuse is who are they going to get that's better? That's it. That's like, I don't even think, like, NC State fans, I think they do want him gone. They're just scared if he does leave, then instead of winning 8 games, they're going to win 6.
Well, I think what it is NC State, the administration is okay with NC State being a 7, 8, every once in a while a 9, maybe 10 win team when they get lucky.
If that's the mentality of the administration, if I was an NC State alum, I wouldn't donate a single goddamn dollar to that program. If that's their mentality, I wouldn't.
How do you think I felt with running the freaking triple option for years, over a decade?
Well, yeah.
Listen, Georgia Tech has national titles, though.
Yeah.
NC State doesn't. NC State has 1 10-win season in their history. I mean, it's kind of like we said earlier. That programs have ceilings, and I think there is a ceiling at NC State, both created by the administration, all really created by the administration.
I disagree. They could be a lot better than they are, I think.
Well, I mean, they could, but the stories of a team like Miami that it was a punching bag for its whole history and then, rose up to prominence are very few and far in between.
NC State is like the South Carolina Gamecocks of North Carolina. That's what they are.
They should play each other every year.
I think the last 3 or 4 times they played, NC State's won like 3 out of the 4.
Really?
Yeah. Well, we're talking about South Carolina. Come on now. Holy Cross and Syracuse is really nothing to talk about there. Syracuse should blow them out. Louisville and Notre Dame. Now, this is this is my underdog pick of the week on the Lunch Money Show last night as far as betting goes. You got Louisville on the road at Notre Dame plus 6.5. I'm taking Louisville here with the points. I still don't know what to think about them. I was waiting to see how they looked against Georgia Tech. I still don't think I got the answers I was looking for out of that. No disrespect to Sea-Dog or Georgia Tech. I'm just saying. I mean,
honestly, if anything, that game changed my opinion on Louisville, and I'd take Notre Dame in this one.
Really? Okay, so you're going the other way.
Yeah, because I look at how Notre Dame responded to that loss. They turned around and just pummeled the ever-loving shit out of Purdue.
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a tough one for me. Although I do think this game is very losable for Notre Dame. Did the Northern Illinois head coach save Notre Dame's season by telling him why they got beat so bad by them? Y'all remember that happened after that?
I don't, but maybe.
He called Marcus Freeman the next day after the game and said, "Here's how we beat you so bad." Try to give him a heads up.
Hey, I would take it if I'm Marcus Freeman.
Wow.
Because listen, I know people don't like it, and some people disagree with me. To get Notre Dame out of the playoffs, they still need 2 more losses.
No.
And yes,
no.
Hey, I have seen it. We have seen it too many times where the playoff committee has ranked Notre Dame. They need 3 losses to be out.
When they lost to NIU, that killed that. 3 losses.
Okay, that's wishful thinking because you don't like it, and I don't like it either. I'm with you.
I just don't think it's going to happen.
Notre Dame has to have 3 losses to be out of it. They will put Notre Dame in.
Yeah, maybe. I 2 losses at the most, but here's the thing. I think they will have 3 losses.
Well, and if that's the case, then you don't have anything to work. I'm not so certain. I mean, I had a little higher opinion of USC a couple of weeks ago than what I have of them now.
That's true too. But even outside of the big marquee match, they might lose to Louisville. So we'll see next week about where they stand as far as that. If they lose to Louisville, forget it. They're not making the playoffs. They're not.
Right. At that point, yeah, they would have to run the table, and I don't think they're going
even Southern Cal. I mean, they could win that game or lose it. But look at some of the other games on the schedule. They have to play both Army and Navy, and those are two pretty good teams. They play Navy every year, but they got to play Army this year too.
Beat Memphis.
Yeah, they might drop one of those games.
They might, but Notre Dame's winning record over them is pretty fucking good.
I'm not. Notre Dame has a very good defense. I'm not sold on their offense yet. This is going to be their best test of the season so far against Louisville. I'm
gonna be honest with you. You want Notre Dame to be a problem? They need to quit trying to just give up on the pass and become a triple option team.
Oh no,
that's many people trouble.
No.
Yes, listen. With Riley Leonard, that offensive line, and those running backs, they would give people, because people that don't see it on a regular basis have trouble with it.
Slim, there's no place for the triple option in power football anymore. Especially not in a place like Notre Dame.
Purely triple option, yes, but you can add triple option elements to your offense, and it'll give modern defenses problems.
That might be the most disrespectful thing I've heard anybody say about Notre Dame. With what you just said
about like Vandy or Kansas. Or
yeah.
Something.
No.
God damn, man.
I'm talking with Riley Leonard's skill set, it fits. With their offensive line, it fits. With their running back stable, it fits. I'm not saying go pure triple option, but you can add a lot of triple option elements to that offense, and they'll give people trouble.
I don't know. The craziest thing about Notre Dame is they got, Sam Hartman came in there, looked like shit when he played there. They went and got the guy from Duke. Now he looks like shit there as well.
Does that prove Sam Hartman's a system QB?
I mean, I don't.
I think Notre Dame is just ruining quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's what it appears. They need to recruit one and develop them instead of just getting a new one out of the portal every year.
Yeah, that sounds like it. There's a few coaches in that that need to follow that mentality.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, Mike Norvell.
And if it were up to a lot of people, Dabo would have went and replaced Cade Klubnik in the offseason with a transfer, but he didn't. He stuck with the guy he recruited, and, well, I don't know. We'll see what happens, but it seems to me like it's going to work out just fine. Yeah, players actually do get better if you coach them. I mean, that's unbelievable. Wake Forest and Louisiana, I don't care about that. North Carolina and Duke. Oh, my God. Holy shit.
I think Handy Manny's win streak continues.
Is Duke about to be 4-0? I think so.
Duke is. And I think we had them starting the season 4-0, as a matter of fact.
I think you're right about that, actually. Pull it up here. I'll tell you right now. We did do Duke, I think. Here it is. 8-5. Let me see. We had them we had them 4-0. You're right. We had them losing in week 5, or their 5th game, week 6, whatever that is. We had them winning their first 4, then losing 3 in a row, which still might happen.
That includes Georgia Tech. We play them.
Yeah.
We play them next week. We're on a bye this week, and then we play them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, anything short of a complete meltdown and disaster, there's no reason why Duke shouldn't win this game. I think North Carolina I think they're the worst team in the ACC. They're even worse than Florida State. I guess it is true. Oh, man.
Man.
Oh. Yeah, Duke wins that. Stanford at Clemson. Any thoughts on that? I mean, Clemson's a 22-point favorite.
Nah, you'll kick Stanford's ass.
Yeah, you better not lose Stanford, or all the goodwill and joy that Cade Klubnik has built up for the past couple of weeks will disappear rapidly.
I don't like the 22 points, and here's why I don't like the 22 points. Stanford went to Syracuse last week, beat them. Did not go back to California because they had to go to Clemson this week. So they drove a bus down from Syracuse to Clemson. They're getting put up by Clemson and Dabo. And give it and get.
They don't have classes.
They're probably. I guess they're doing them online or something. I don't know. But
well, I mean, this is Stanford. These are real geniuses, not the fake ones.
Look,
Tech has.
Okay.
Today's Tuesday. Stanford's been in Clemson for 3 days already. So. Sorry, I can't stop coughing. Stanford's been in Clemson for 3 days already. I guarantee you, Dabo's taking them out to fucking play golf. He's taken the head coach of Stanford. He probably invited him over his house for dinner. Had a pool party.
They were in the front row at church Sunday.
Yeah, they went to church together. They're washing Stanford's laundry.
Yeah, washing their laundry. Yeah,
they're washing their laundry. They're letting them use their facilities. This is the biggest circle jerk in all of college football for Week 5.
What are you talking about, Pete?
What do you mean?
What are you talking about?
Stanford never went home. They're basically staying in. They've been in Clemson.
Stanford is
Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I wasn't making a joke. They're doing their laundry.
Well, I'm kind of.
That's
with
ACC
you,
hospitality, man.
I don't like the line, and here's why. That's probably going to be. Looks like you have a hurricane headed straight for you.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about that. Because that doesn't just affect Clemson. That affects the entire East Coast going into the weekend. There's going to be a lot of games affected by weather this weekend.
That's going to be a soggy game, probably.
Yeah.
If it ain't raining, the field's going to be soggy. The ball's going to be wet. That's going to be very much a ground game. And
actually,
I don't like that line at all for Clemson.
I think they make it's a 7 p.m. game. It's a night game. I think that the rain is supposed to be gone by then. And luckily for Clemson, they have a great field as far as being able to handle a lot of rain. So I don't think the field will be sloppy. But here's why I don't like the 20 or 21 or 22 or whatever it ends up being. Dabo, he's made best friends with his Stanford coach, so he's not going to run the score up on him. Even if they get out to a huge lead, he'll like that. He'll put in the third string or whatever. Let them score some touchdowns and make them feel better about themselves before they have to travel back to Stanford. So I don't like the line. Clemson should win this game easily, though. But hey, shout out to Stanford, though. They did go into Syracuse and win that game. So,
yeah.
No.
Fran Clown. I thought they were the toughest, but looks like you can't. I guess Fran Clown didn't pull up coach speak from the Stanford coach's press conference that week.
I mean, say what you want. That's obviously a better football team than what Dino Babers is putting on the field.
You don't think Dino Babers would beat Stanford?
No.
Dino Babers probably would have lost the week before.
Yeah, right.
Right. Oh, those were the days.
So,
and to your point, Pete, I think he is still a good offensive coordinator because Arizona's looking pretty good, and guess who the OC is?
Right. Yeah, that was a great hire by Arizona. Oh, I'm glad he's not in the ACC. No. Seriously. No. How did Georgia Tech miss out on Dino Babers as offensive coordinator? Brent Key doesn't know what he's doing, does he, C-Dog?
We have a great offensive coordinator. What are you talking about?
Okay.
Our offensive coordinator is one of the best in the country.
Not as good as Dino Babers.
You say so.
Oh, Florida State at SMU. Man, I got this. I can't get enough of this. I just can't get enough of Florida State.
Yeah, me either. I can't pick them to win anything. I don't care if they just won a game. You keep picking Florida State to lose by the end of the season, you're gonna be in the plus money.
Right.
Yeah. That's true.
This game's on the road too, in Dallas. 8:00 kickoff.
I legitimately think SMU's.
Yes, that's right. Actually, I think this. Or no, it's not. That's right. This game is in Dallas. There was another game I was thinking of that's in it's Arkansas and A&M that's in Jerry World in Arlington.
Yeah. No, this game's at SMU, but that's in Dallas.
Yeah.
So, yeah. 8 o'clock kickoff. I'm assuming SMU is probably, sold out crowd, the whole thing. A lot of pressure on Florida State after their big win against Cal last week.
Dude, speaking of which, I know it doesn't pertain to this, but they released a kickoff time. Miami at Cal next week is a 10:30 Eastern kickoff.
Damn.
Pac-12 after dark. I mean, ACC after dark.
That's on East Coast time. That's 11. Like if they're still on East Coast time sleeping wise, that's 1 a.m.
I certainly hope that they're going to go up there like Tuesday.
I think they probably
Wednesday
will
at the latest.
Yeah. Get on some sort of a sleeping schedule there. It's a lot harder to travel to the West Coast than it is otherwise, I think.
Yeah. Some of the guys, Cam came from the West Coast. The Malinois brothers came from the West Coast, so it may be a bit easier for them.
Well, I've got SMU winning this game. I mean, I can't, under good conscience, pick Florida State to win just because they beat Cal at home last week. I've seen them play too much. I think I've seen every game Florida State's played.
Yeah.
And they're all bad, all of them.
Yep.
I'm not saying SMU's a world beater because they're not, but as a matter of fact, if this game was in Florida State, I might give them a chance. But since it's not, I'm not giving them a chance. So, definitely give me the points.
Oh yeah.
And I don't even know where Florida State goes from here. I'm not even talking about this game. Forget the game. Whether they win or lose, that doesn't change the fact that they're terrible. I don't even know. Like, what are your thoughts on Florida State? How do you fix this? Is it just we had a bad season? We're going to move on and do things the same way we always do them, or are they going to make some sort of change?
Big changes have to be made. You have to this isn't just a Mike Norvell thing. Like from what I'm hearing, a lot of the coaches on the staff just don't even care about high school recruiting and just want to go through the portal. They have to have a complete philosophy shift when it comes to getting talent and basically start from square one.
I'm shocked at why can't Norvell recruit in like an elite level quarterback out of high school?
He can't recruit anybody. That's the thing.
Well, I mean, they haven't been
managed one class at number 10 since he's been there.
I mean, they're stuck in this rut now. They're going to have to go out and get another portal quarterback, aren't they? I mean,
what about Crummenhook? Isn't he supposed to be
Crummenhook?
Isn't he supposed to be?
Well, why is he not playing now then?
Well, he's a true freshman.
So? I
mean, this year is what it is, but I feel like DJ was always a bridge quarterback to him.
A bridge to what? Hell?
Well, and here's the thing. I think Mike Norvell's talent evaluation is also the problem because for all the hell that he catches, Jordan Travis was a Willie Taggart get.
Yeah, so I get Brock Glenn's pretty good, Pete. Why isn't Brock Glenn playing then? Y'all keep telling me that they've got players that are better than DJ, but they're not playing. He is. So why is that?
Inquiring minds want to know.
I've been trying to figure it out since I saw them got beat up by Georgia Tech.
But because here's the thing, as much as we're focusing on DJ because quarterbacks get undue blame and credit, their problem's way deeper than DJ. That offensive line is bad.
Yeah.
Like how DJ was one of your problems in 21, but not all of them. Like the O-line was bad. The wide receivers wasn't giving them any help. There's more problems there than just DJ.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
I think DJ has all of a sudden got incredibly worse than what he was because he was consistent from Clemson to Oregon State.
Yeah, I also don't think it's healthy to have a new starting quarterback every single year. Like if you look around the country, the teams that win titles, most of them are quarterbacks that have been on that team for 2 and 3 years at minimum, and multiple years starting. You know, I mean, who's going out there and lighting up the world? They just got a brand new quarterback out of the transfer portal, and now they're all of a sudden,
Miami.
Yeah, that's the exception. And by the way, that's the exception, and also it's still too early to say that in the season. I'm talking about like past years.
Well, I mean, and
even Burrow
also still recruiting quarterbacks. Like we have another 4-star on the roster. He's already got a 4-star for 25 and 26 committed.
Yeah. See, but you're recruiting quarterbacks, not getting them all out of the portal. So that doesn't really apply. And I don't know. Maybe Brock Glenn's going to be great. I don't know. I'm not saying he's not. But to me, the way the team looks right now, it seems to me like the DJ's dead in the water. He's a lame duck quarterback. This is last year. He's not going to have him next year. He's no good now. He wasn't good the year before or 2 years before that at Clemson. So, what's stopping them from just going ahead and getting this Brock Glenn train moving? I mean, you don't really have anything to lose. You're not winning the ACC, so what does it fucking matter? Unless you're just scared the guy's going to get killed out there. Maybe that's why. I don't know.
He's okay with sacrificing DJ, but not Brock Glenn.
Yeah, but maybe that is it. That might be the real answer. That's the only answer that makes sense. You know?
Well, I mean, at least to us, like I don't think coaches look at it like we do. Well, the season's toast. I'm going to go with this guy. Like I don't think coaches actually look at it like that. I think they look at it probably how they say, you know, we're going to put out there who we think is going to give us our best shot to win.
But that's my point. If DJ is your best chance to win, you got bigger than Brock Glenn or whatever the fuck his name is no good. Sorry. I mean, I don't know, man. They are the most confusing team from week to week for me to watch. Not confusing, and well, I know they're bad, so it's not. I don't watch them play bad and go, oh my God, they're bad. I'm past that point. We know they're bad, but the decisions they're making now for the remainder of the season is what confuses me. I mean, if they let's say they lose to SMU. Let's say they lose by 3 touchdowns to SMU. Then what? Do you bench? I mean, how far do you have to go before you bench DJ? Is what I'm asking, I guess. Is it 1 more game, 2 more games, 3 more games? Are you just going to ride him out the whole season? At some point, you got to do something, or you're going to lose the team.
Plan is just ride the season with him.
Yeah.
Just ride the season. God damn.
I mean, kind of like how Tennessee did with Joe Milton last year. It's like we're going to go as far as he can take us this year. We're just going to have to deal with it for this year.
I guess. Is Brock Glenn a red shirt? Or maybe that's why they're doing it. They're trying to red shirt him. Is that what it is? That might be the real reason. No? Momo says no. Well, fuck it then. Is Mike Norvell scared of DJ's dad? Is that what this is?
It could be.
Is he scared?
Listen, dude, just get you an axe handle and take him out of the knee. He'll be all right.
Is he scared of a drive-by? Oh, my God. Well, there you have it. There's our picks for the week. I've got SMU winning and covering against Florida State.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you, and fucking Mike Norvell's probably looking at it much the same way. It's like I'm sure he's tried several different things, and is probably as befuddled as we are.
I feel like, I mean, have they already lost the locker room, or is that? I mean, DJ got booed at his introduction last week, coming out on the field by the fans.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's the fans, not the locker room.
I know, but he hadn't even played a snap yet. That was an introduction. Got booed.
I mean, just because fans are booing him doesn't mean that they've lost the locker room or anything.
Well, I guess that's right. I don't know. I feel like they've lost the locker. I don't know if there is a locker room in Florida State. Really?
Did he ever even have the locker room?
Probably at the beginning of the season, before they lost to Georgia Tech, because I mean, he's a new quarterback and he's a nice guy. I'm sure. I don't know. At some point, though, the other players on the team start looking around, going, "This guy's making me look bad now."
It's so funny. You face one bit of adversity and completely fold as a team.
Yeah.
I mean, did you hear what Nick Saban said about it during game day?
Oh, that was great.
Oh yeah.
Well, because we talked about how Florida State's they're playing with the second string of Alabama right now. And so Saban, of course, recruited all those players that transferred to Florida State. So he goes, it's almost like if they couldn't start where they were at, then they might not be very good, or something along those lines.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cold.
That was cold. Saban bitched and complained that Alabama players were leaving. I don't think he really cared. I mean, he wasn't even the coach there anymore. But he knows the guys that transferred out and why they weren't starting for Alabama
exactly
better than anybody. So,
I mean, some of them that left, like that corner that left and went to Ohio State. I mean, he was damn good.
Caleb Downs, you talking about?
Yeah, Caleb Downs.
Yeah. And I'm not saying the players they got were bad. I'm not saying that. But there is a reason they weren't starting in Alabama. He's right about that. Yeah.
Well, I do think there's something to I'm listen, we all know not Dabo, but Nick's opinion of the transfer portal and all that. I mean, there is something to, there you have talent sitting on your bench. They just get lost in the depth chart.
Yeah.
So just because you're on the bench at Alabama, sure, it's for a reason, because, a lot of people like myself still look at it like you have to wait your turn. But there's a lot of teams in the country that they can go and start for immediately and make an impact.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Clemson doesn't lose a lot of players to the portal that aren't graduates. There's been a few, but not really a whole lot.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, a lot of them that we've lost, perfect example, Sea-Dog. I mean, I was a fan of Don Chaney, but did he do anything miraculous in that game Saturday?
No.
Well, I guess that's Sea-Dog's answer.
I don't know. He might not have heard you.
No.
I said sometimes players leave, and I was a fan of him, but unfortunately, you some guys you're just not sad to see go, like Don Chaney. I mean, did Don Chaney really do anything Saturday playing for Louisville that just wowed you?
Hell no. We talked about it. They had 30 something rushing yards. So, wasn't he a running back? Is that right?
Yeah. He's actually the running back that they said fumbled that Georgia Tech game. Even though he didn't actually, he was down.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Nah, all right.
After that happened, I was like, yeah, this dude's gone in the offseason. I already saw that coming.
Jay says Saban leaving Bama at the end of the portal window was a D move?
Well, I mean, Saban leaving doesn't really mean anything because when a coach leaves, it automatically opens a portal window for Alabama players for 2 weeks.
Yeah, so it doesn't really affect them. I think him leaving at the time he did was a boss move. Actually, how many times have we seen coaches hang around too long? You know, and they have a legacy, and all of a sudden, yeah. Well, there you go. That's a great example.
Jeez.
I'd say the same for Lou Holtz.
Yeah, very few of them, you know, go out on top. You know, Saban was smart enough to do it. Tom Osborne was smart enough to do it. Bobby Bowden and Joe Paterno really weren't. I mean, both of them were shells of what they used to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I think both those stayed too long, too. Bowden probably by a couple of seasons, maybe, but Paterno stayed for like maybe 5 years too long.
Paterno legitimately may have stayed for a couple of decades too long, if we're just being honest.
Damn. You know, at least 5 years, maybe 10. I don't know. Dabo Swinney. Stop. Jesus Christ.
Congratulations. You tried and you failed miserably.
That's funny. Come on.
That was good.
It's a good troll comment.
Hey, he just beat me to it because I was thinking of throwing that one out there.
Yeah. Well, y'all better hope Clemson don't win the ACC and make the playoffs. Y'all better hope.
I think Clemson is not going to win the ACC, but they're still going to make the playoffs.
I don't know what I'd do.
Because I think what's most likely is because I think Miami's kind of gotten that Clemson monkey off their back, so to speak. I think if we face each other, Miami would probably win. But
yeah, it's hard to say right now. I think if they played this week, I think Miami would be favored by a little bit, 3 or 4 points, maybe.
Oh, I'm not saying we would win a blowout or anything.
No, but I mean, I'm just talking about. But the end of the season is a whole different thing.
Of course. But this is actually how I see it playing out. I think Miami and Clemson are going to play for the conference title. I think Clemson's probably going to lose, in my opinion, finish the season 11-2. And does anybody actually think the committee's going to leave an 11-win Clemson out?
Probably not, based on what we're seeing out of the Big 12 and the Big 10 in particular. I don't think there's more than one team for the Big 12 getting in. So whoever wins the Big 12 is going to get in. We know that. I don't see another team getting in from the Big 12. I mean, there might be a 3 or 4 loss team that's second place. The Big 12 is really a total mess.
Yeah, but you could have a couple 11-win teams in the Big 12 by the time it's all said.
I don't think so. Who? That's the problem. You can't even really pick out. I mean, Utah is the best team, I guess.
Utah, Iowa State.
Is Iowa State going to be an 11-win team, though?
That they could be.
I don't think so.
Possibility is there.
Yeah, it's possible, but I don't know.
I mean, I would have thought Oklahoma State preseason, but that offensive line and Ollie Gordon is not living up to preseason hype.
The Big Ten as well. They're going to consume themselves. I mean, you got Ohio State, Penn State, maybe, and then it's a totally different tier after that of about 7 teams. I mean,
yeah.
So I think you're right. I think 2 ACC teams do get in there, as long as it's not a 3-loss ACC. Like a 2-loss ACC team probably still gets in, but a 3-loss team probably doesn't. And I don't see either Miami or Clemson losing 3 games. 2 at the most for either team.
Yeah, and unfortunately the Big Ten and the Big 12 are going to screw up a bet I've got, because I've got a bet with somebody on Twitter about the SEC getting 4 teams in. Because my line of thinking was it's going to be 3 from both the Big Ten and the SEC, 2 from both the Big 12 and the ACC, and then Notre Dame in a group of 5.
Oh.
Because I still think Notre Dame's going to finish the season with no more than 2 losses. And I think a 2-loss Notre Dame is absolutely in.
That's probably true. This weekend is huge for. If they lose this weekend, they're not getting in.
Yeah, this weekend will determine a lot for Notre Dame season.
Yeah, I think this is a playoff game for them. Well, actually, I think every game is. But you think a 3-loss team will get in? I don't. But
no, I don't think a 3-loss team will get. 3-loss Notre Dame will get in.
Okay, so we're on the same page then.
Yeah, I think 2 losses or better, Notre Dame is in. 3 losses and they're out.
Vic says the SEC is getting 5 teams in. Yeah, I don't think so. 4 maybe.
4 maybe.
I don't think 5.
Like I said, we'll still see how the Big Ten shakes out. I mean, like you said, there's still a lot of season left, so Oregon can kind of get their act together. I mean, name me a bunch of teams in the Big Ten that Michigan's going to lose to.
Yeah. Not a lot. You're right.
So it could still very well work out the way I think it's going to.
Yeah. Either way, I'm excited to see how the ACC is going to play out. We still got, I mean, we're narrowing it down more and more, but there's still a bunch of teams in it. I mean, even Georgia Tech's still in it, technically, mathematically.
Yeah, we're just not good enough.
But I think for real, there's at least 3 teams that still have a legitimate shot here at this part of the season: Miami, Clemson, and Louisville. And I just don't even know. We've seen. I think we're more sure about Clemson and about who Clemson and Miami are, and still on the fence about Louisville. At least I am.
Well, and I'll be honest, I'm still somewhat on the fence with Miami. I think they're good, but I think they still have to prove that, they're not going to go out here and lose games that they shouldn't.
Pittsburgh, no. I mean, yeah. So I think Pittsburgh could end up being.
Pittsburgh is like the dark horse.
They could end up being what we thought Virginia Tech might be before the season started. A spoiler. I don't really think they're good enough to win the ACC, but it's still too early to tell. That's another team, I guess, that's still I'm still not sold on. I mean, they beat a bad West Virginia team barely.
They've got a quarterback that's way better than Kenny Pickett. You watch your mouth.
Yeah, right. Well,
where was I when I said that?
Stanford? No, stop it with the Stanford. No. No, not Stanford.
And honestly, you want to talk about as far as winning a natty? Yeah, let those sorry saps over there in the SEC beat each other up, knock each other about, and Miami and Clemson will just sit here on cruise, go through their schedule, and waltz right into the playoffs.
There you go.
Hey, and if we don't end up anywhere near each other, what are all these SEC going to homers say? Or what are they going to say if it's a Miami Clemson national title game?
Oh my God! Don't do that, Slim. The internet's not ready for that. They can't handle that.
Ooh, buddy. Talk about pushing some narratives. Be pushing more narratives than fucking Kamala Harris.
All right, gentlemen. Well, that's going to do it, I guess. I don't really know what else to say about the games this week. I think we know where we all stand here. Not too many.
Great food for thought to end the show on.
What?
Let that simmer for a week. The last thought of the ACC show is everybody listening to a Miami Clemson national.
Oh, Miami Clemson national championship! Holy shit!
ESPN wouldn't know what to do with themselves.
I would blame Kirk Herbstreit.
Stroke out on set.
Kirk Herbstreit might have a stroke.
Oh my God.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you for another great ACC show.
Yes, sir. It was fun.
I appreciate you coming on, Slim, and helping us out like usual.
No problem.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
On the next one.
Yep. All right, Sea-Dog, go back to Home Depot, I guess.
You want to peek in my house?
Yeah, let me see. Let me put you on the screen here. Let's let the people see Sea-Dog's house here.
So the kitchen's like not finished.
Oh, it looks good though.
Thanks.
Yeah, there's the. So this is the front door.
The front door to the house?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, couple windows. It's kind of small. Here's a guest bathroom right here.
All right. Guest bathroom or just like the regular bathroom for the down? Is that a two-story house?
It's one floor.
One floor. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, that's about all you can see from my little webcam.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Got the fridge back there. There's a little mud room there. Needs a door. But
is that the garage out there, or you have a garage?
There's it's a carport.
Okay.
Through that door. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep.
All right. Well, looks like it's coming along.
Yeah. I got my countertops today, so that's those there. They're hanging off.
What kind of counter? What is it?
So I got to cut those and.
What kind of countertops is it?
Oh, they're butcher block.
Wood?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
They're like a nice butcher block. They're what kind of wood was it? Walnut.
Okay.
That's nice stuff.
So you're gonna put those on yourself?
Yeah.
Cool.
I've been doing everything myself.
Gotcha.
Everything. Once the drywall went in, I put all the floors down. Well, my friends came and helped me. We had a floor laying party, but I primed and painted and trimmed and did everything. So
yeah, it looks like you're doing a good job. You know what you need to do? You need to with your phone or something. You need to do like a whole document the whole.
Yeah, I've been taking pictures.
Yeah.
And stuff. Yeah.
And then you should make a video out of it though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know who will watch it. I'll watch it, but
I don't really have any videos. I just have pictures, but
yeah, we need pictures of Sea-Dog or video of Sea-Dog cutting maple countertops.
That's what I'm doing all day. I'm like Bob the Builder cutting and
like Handy Manny.
Yeah, I hung all the doors and did all the stuff. There's my dog.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That dog looks like he's ready for the house to be finished. Look at him. He's like, where's all the shit in here? Look at him. He's looking around.
Him and me both.
He's like, when are you gonna finish this, Dad? Come on, man.
I'm working on it.
All right.
Working on
it. All right, man. Well, congratulations on the house and everything. Keep us updated on that. And thank you for another great ACC show.
No problem, man.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
All right. See ya.
All right, guys. That's going to do it for me as well. Thank you for tuning into the ACC show. Thanks to all the people that donated and everything else. Also, what's today? Today's Tuesday. So tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., the midday show on my second channel. Tomorrow night at 10 p.m., the college football call-in show. So I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Have a great rest of your Tuesday.